Anywhere you go, give it all. Anywhere you say,
Armaf Club De Nuit Imperial. Let's talk about it. Hello people, my name is Nixon Dias and you are watching Smelly Cat. Thank you in advance for liking, sharing and subscribing, and also hitting that bell icon. As you already know, there's been quite a buzz about the new releases from Armaf. There's Imperial, that's this one, and then there's Blue Iconic or just Iconic, ELIXIR, and also Untold. Now I've done a video on the rest of them. This was the last one that I had to finish out of the series, so I'm going to pin it in the comments and also put it in the description, so if you're interested, have a look at those as well. But first, watch this video all the way to the end. A quick look at the presentation, starting with the box. Pretty standard stuff. It looks like the rest of the series. This one has a bit of that pearlescent, or I think my wife told me iridescent, but I think with this one it's pearlescent. I don't know what the difference between them is. She tried explaining it to me. It has to do something with one that looks like rainbow and the other one that looks like pearl. But yeah, it's got this look and feel on the box. It has sterling and all of that written on the side. And then at the bottom you have the batch code and the year and month of manufacturing and where it is made. Mine, from what they've mentioned, is a November 2022 batch, and it is made in France. While the box is okay, what impresses me the most is this bottle. My god, this bottle is gorgeous, and definitely my camera is not doing it justice. I don't think that pearl like finish is showing on the camera. So just wanted to add that this one looks much better in person than it probably did in the pictures that you saw, so keep that in mind. The cap is the same matte finish gold that you also get on Untold, and like I'd mentioned in that one as well, this is not that polished gold that scratches off on the bottles like Milestone and Club De Nuit Intense Women. I actually prefer this to the metal cap that comes on Iconic, because that one to me is a fingerprint magnet, and while I hold this cap in my hand, I can already smell the scent. On the side you have Club De Nuit written like the rest of the series, and maybe from this angle hopefully the color really comes out in this one. Anyways, last bit of the presentation, this sprayer, because a lot of you like this. Actually pretty similar to okay, this is strong, pretty similar to the other two. Now before I give you my personal experience with this set, let me give you the notes breakdown that Armaf has provided on their website, armaf.ae. The top notes are lychee, bergamot and nutmeg. The middle notes are Turkish rose, peony, musk and vanilla, and the base notes are Kashmiran, cedar, incense and vetiver. Now the notes breakdown should give you an idea of what this scent is going to smell like and what it's similar to. You're right, it's like PDM Delina, but there's one very important note missing in this one when compared to Delina, and that note is rhubarb. Rhubarb is not mentioned as a note by Armaf, but the funny thing is that one missing note is exactly what I get most of in the opening of this scent. Every time I spray it, I first detect more than any other note, maybe bergamot, I'll talk about it, but more than any other note I get the rhubarb off the bat. But hey, maybe it's just a typo, maybe they missed out on that one, so no use getting too dramatic. I bet there's going to be some reviewer out there who's going to read those notes online, spray this, act like he's sniffing it, and then say, this is like Delina, but it's missing that rhubarb note. It's not. Rhubarb is the first thing you get when you spray this. It's actually this zesty mix of bergamot and rhubarb in the opening of this one, which I think personally has been amped up compared to Delina, which makes this one a lot a lot fresher than Delina in the opening. Now, rhubarb is not my favorite note because it has a tendency of turning sour on my skin based on what is being used to create that rhubarb effect. Because for those who don't know, the essence of most fruits, barring citrus fruits, can't be directly extracted from nature. So you can't just take rhubarb, use an extraction method and get rhubarb oil out of that. And what you have to do is then create in the lab, create something that gives you the effect of it being rhubarb. Let me give you an example. My two favorites that I've personally used when I'm studying are Rubofix from Fermenic and Rubofurin from Givaudan. And they both bring out different facets of a scent based on what other ingredients or what other notes are being used along with Rubofix or Rubofurin. I personally feel, out of my experience using it, Rubofix is great for like a berry-like sweetness and pink floral feel. Rubofurin, on the other hand, I feel is great for a sharp, green, fresh, vegetal feel. Now, if you're wondering why is this fat YouTuber telling me about Rubofix and Rubofurin, just tell me about the scent. I'm saying it because I feel that this one is more in the Rubofurin direction, by which I mean that this one is sharp, citrusy, celery-like and grassy and very fresh. So the rhubarb in this gives it that crisp opening along with that bergamot, rather than the sweetness or berry-like thing that I usually find with Delinas. So what I'm getting at is that the opening of this one is really fresh. So when I first sprayed this, I was like, okay, this is much fresher and cleaner than I expected it to be. Very crisp in the opening, apple-like, even though apple is not listed as a note. And I was like, okay, this is not moving into the sweet berry-like territory anytime soon. But slowly it actually does. So in the first 20 minutes, you'll get this freshness, which still exists throughout the scent. But I just hope that that bergamot and that rhubarb opening stuck a little longer, because it makes it feel like it has this crisp green apple in it, which it doesn't. But this, what I'm feeling right now on my wrist, sort of dies after the 20 to 30 minute mark. This zesty, zingy, fresh opening is definitely going to remind you of other fresher opening scents like say Kofu by Memo, or Citrus 08 by Kayali, or even Delicious Rhubarb by Molten Brown. Now I won't get into like a detailed description of what this smells like, because after that fresh opening, this pretty much follows the direction that it wants to, especially with that rose, peony, musk and vanilla. Except one noticeable difference, I feel that this one is slightly more ozonic or aquatic. There's something in this that gives it this watery, ozonic, aquatic feel as well. So instead of that detailed description, what I'm going to do is answer a few questions that will help you on deciding whether you should go for this scent or not. Now, who can pull it off? Yes, to my nose, it leans a little feminine, although that freshness in the top and that ozonic, aquatic feel does give it more of a push in the unisex territory. So for those who can pull off those kind of scents like I do, I definitely pull it off and I wear it with confidence. Yes, this is a little slightly more unisex take on that Delina DNA. Now, who will like this? So if you like scents like Fleur Narcotic, Mancera's Roses Vanilla, which I think this is quite like in the dry down. So Roses Vanilla, like I said, Fleur Narcotic, Dio's Holy Peony, or if you like scents like Delina, of course, then this one will be right up your alley. So women definitely will pull this off, but if you are someone who can, who likes those scents and is looking for a slightly more unisex version, I would say a slightly fresher version, then you will like this one as well. Does it perform? Yes, absolutely does. One of the strongest points of the new Club De Nuit releases, that is iconic, ELIXIR, Untold, and this one, Imperial, is the fact that these are heavy hitters. All of them definitely hit that 8 to 10 hour mark, including this one, which lasts around 10 hours for me. And I would say in the first 2 hours, the projection on this one is nice and strong. Then from the hour 2 to 6 or 7, I would say that it has a good half an arm or 1 arm length projection, and then it slowly starts becoming a skin scent. But still, again, you know, on your skin you can smell this even later on, but say at around the 10 hour marks is when you'll start slowly stop smelling this on your skin. But definitely on clothes, this is a very long lasting scent. Does it smell cheap? Absolutely not. The thing with this DNA is it's a very easy DNA to screw up, because if you do, especially with that rose, peony and musk, it can end up smelling extremely cheap. In fact, I've tried a couple who've tried that DNA. No doubt they were very cheap scents, but it just ended up smelling like toilet fresheners. But when you do a good job, when you use good ingredients, when you use better quality stuff and you blend it right, then definitely this is one of those scents that really stands out and smells extremely expensive on your skin. And luckily this one takes the latter route, and the scent really does justice to this beautiful bottle, even though my light isn't doing it at the moment. So now that you know what to expect from it, the ball is in your court. I personally picked this up for the bottles itself. It is a gorgeous bottle. Honestly, it looks much better in your hand and in person than it does in any picture. And for some reason today I've had problems with my light and all of that, with my battery, and then it just doesn't show you how beautiful this one is. But believe me, it is. If you have any other questions, do leave them in the comments, or you can add me on Instagram, slide into my DMs. Thanks for liking, sharing and subscribing, and until next time, keep smelling amazing.